today we're going to work on writing equations. And you guys have written expressions before. Today we're going to write equations in slope-intercept form, and we're going to write them in standard form. So, let's start with slope-intercept form. What does slope-intercept form look like?
Y equals mx plus b.
So what are the two things that we need in order to express things in slope-intercept form?
The y-intercept and the slope.
The y-intercept and the slope.
Good job, Austin.
So we have the m is the slope. And you've also been told that it's the same thing as a rate of change. So like miles per gallon, liters per minute, things like that. You're making $10 per hour. Those are all rates. That would be something that's associated with the slope. It's a rate of change. The other thing that we need is the y-intercept. And the y-intercept indicates where we're starting. When we graph the line, the y-intercept tells us where we put the first what?
Point.
The first point. It's where we're starting when we're graphing that line. So you want to open a bank account and you have $100 and you're hoping to save $20 per week. That $100 is what you're starting with, and that would be your y-intercept. And then your $20 per week, that's your rate of change. So that's what we're looking at today is values being given to us, interpreting which one's the rate, which one's the one that we're paying one time, or what we're starting with. Sometimes when you have services done, you have to pay a flat fee first, and then you pay per minute or you pay per hour. So example 1, sunspot tanning charges an initial fee of $20 and then $2 per visit for up to 1 month of tanning. Write an equation relating number of visits x and the cost y. So what are the two values that we have to work into our equation? $20 and $2.
This seems really familiar. Something like this last year.
Could be. So, which one indicates what you're starting with? Or the one-time thing that you have to pay? The $20. Right here you have an initial fee of $20. And the $2 per visit indicates what?
Every time you come, you have to pay $2.
Right.
After that, plus
So $2 per visit. Anytime you see something that says this amount per, that's going to indicate a rate, some rate of change. So step 1, identify the rate of change, and we just determined that it's what? $2. Identify the constant, the one-time fee that you have to pay or the amount that you're beginning with, and that's $20. So that means our equation should be written as y equals
2x plus 20.
All right, example 2. Mark, a 5-week-old baby, weighs 165 ounces. He is gaining weight at a rate of 4 ounces per week. Write an equation relating his weight, y, to his age in weeks, x. So what are the two values that were given?
4 and 165.
4 ounces and 165 ounces. So, step 1, identify the rate of change.
4.
How do you know that it's the 4?
It says per.
Per week. We know that every week that's changing. So we have the 4 ounces per week. Identify the constant.
165.
What does that mean specifically for this
The
example?
That's
It's
how
what
you
we
want
started
it.
with. Right. 165. He weighs 165 ounces.
Y.
So write the equation.
Y equals 4x plus 165.
Yeah.
Speed versus.
All right, a rental car costs $39 for a day plus 25 cents a mile. Write an equation relating total cost y and a number of miles driven x. So what are the two values that we're looking at?
35 and 29.
All right, so which one's going to be our slope or our rate of change? Why 25?
25 per mile.
Per mile. Very good. We know that it's occurring per mile. So this is our rate of change. Whoops, I wrote that wrong. 0.25. And our y-intercept, where we're starting, or the one-time fee that we have to pay, is 39. So y equals,
0.25x plus 39.
It's like an echo.
no doubt.
Can you just put like 1/4 x?
You could. That'd be fine.
Yes.
All right, Gretchen owes $350 on an iPod and is paying it off at $5 per week. Write an equation relating her remaining balance y and number of weeks x. So, two amounts that we're looking at here.
5 and 350.
All right, so what are we starting off with? What's our y-intercept? Okay.
350.
Now, our rate of change.
5.
5.
Minus 5.
Y minus 5.
Because you're paying it off.
You're paying it off. So that's like when you're buying a car or buying another large appliance or something for your house. You want ultimately the balance to be what? 0. So when you're paying something off, you want your rate of change to be negative. So y equals
Negative 5x plus 350.
very nice.
Did you do
Boom.
y equals 5x minus 250?
Joe has a piggy bank.
No, 'cause you're not
full
starting off with a
dimes
negative
and
balance
nickels
of
for a
350.
total of $15.
Cool story.
All right, standard form.
I read it for everybody.
What is standard form?
Standard form is that formula.
AX
ax plus by equals c.
All right, so standard form is different than slope-intercept form because we don't necessarily know what we're starting with. We don't necessarily have a rate. So that's the difference between standard form and slope-intercept. With standard form, you're given 2, 3 items, and you're given a total value or cost for them. So all right, so you have item number 1 being represented by X, and item number 2 being represented by Y. They might have the same values, but they're different objects. So A would represent the value of item number 1, and the B would represent the value of item number 2. So, Joe has a piggy bank full with dimes and nickels for a total of $15. So, what's item number 1? What's the item?
Dimes and nickels.
Item number 2 is
Nickels.
nickels. And our total is
$15.
Now, we need to know the value of these items. So the value of a dime is,
10 cents.
or what part of a dollar,
Point
1/10.
right? And the nickel has a value of
1/20th.
1/20th or 0.05.
Wow.
All right, so we write the equation by taking the value representing the x for one of the items plus the value of the second item and the y representing that second item. So we have 0.10x plus 0.05y equals 15.
That's it.
That's it. All right, example 2. Devin scored 18 points in 2-point and 3-point shots. So what's our first item?
2 points.
And what's its value?
2.
2. What's the second item?
3 points.
3 points, and its value is?
3.
And what's the total value of these items?
18.
So we would write it as?
2x plus 3y equals 18.
3.
I am.
All right, Angeline has
Smack it really hard. There we go.
Angeline has $50 to spend on chips And dip. Each bag of chips is $1.50 and each container of dip is $2.50. So what's item number 1?
150.
Chips.
The chips, and their value are.
150.
Second item is.
Dip.
And its value is.
$2.50.
For a total of
50.
50.
$50.
So we would write it as.
That's a lot of shit.
50 plus 250y plus 2.0y.
Equals
50.
50. Yeah, third hour was not happy with this
Did you give
example
them
with the
extra work?
next. Because the next one says Lauren is having a barbecue. She buys hamburgers at 50 cents each and hot dogs at 25 cents each. She spends a total of $8 on meat.
Ew.
Do you want meat that's that cheap?
That's a little
That'd be
gross.
All right, so what's our first item?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, which has a value of.
50
50
cents.
cents.
Second item
Hot dogs.
has a value of.
25 cents.
And our total?
$8.
$8. For an equation that is.
0.5 x plus 0.25y equals $8.
Woo-hoo!
Equals a.
Was it kind of easy?
This is amazing.
Okay.
How come it goes 1, 2, 3?
Nate has a piggy bank with $30 in it. He has penny nickels, diamonds, quarters.
Example, practice.
No.
No way.
All right,
Rich.
Nate has a piggy bank with $30 in it. He has pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters in it. So we're straying a little bit from standard form because we have more than 2 items.
Yeah.
But we could still write an equation. So the first item that we have is,
Pennies.
and the value of pennies,
Is
0.01.
0.01.
Yeah.
Second item,
Nickels.
0.05.
next item,
Dimes.
0.1.
and
Quarters.
0.25.
and the total.
$30.
Okay. So we can't necessarily use X and Y, so we can use different letters for this example if you want. So,
Alphabet.
okay, 0.01, bless you. 0.01, what letter do you want to use?
A.
A plus 0.05
B.
plus
0.1.
H. Point one.
Yes.
Q.
H.
No Q.
okay,
C.
plus,
0.25y.
okay, equals,
30.
okay.
Q.
No, it doesn't equal Q. All right, so review example. Write the following in standard form. So standard form, AX plus BY equals C. So for A, what do we need to move?
The
Y.
You need to move the
1/3
nothing.
X.
1/3
The
X.
1/3 X.
yes.
So we're going to add it or subtract it?
Subtract it.
Subtract it. So on the left we have
Y minus. Oh no. Negative 1/3 x. Yeah, negative 1/3 x.
equals.
4.
All right, now yesterday I said to you don't leave a fraction out front there in standard form. So what do we need to do to get rid of the fraction?
Turn it into.
You need the
Or reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply everything by the reciprocal. So what would be the reciprocal?
3.
3 over negative 1. So I have 3 over negative 1 times negative 1/3, and what does that give me? Gives me what? 1. X plus negative 3 times y gives me negative 3y equals 4 times negative 3, which is
Negative 12.
there you go. All right, B, 2x equals 3y plus 4. What do I need to move?
The 3y.
Okay, add it or subtract it?
Subtract it.
Subtract. So what do I have on the left?
2x minus 3y equals 4.
Are we done with it?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Y equals 1/2 x plus 3.
Subtract 1/2 x.
What do I have on the left?
Negative one half x plus y equals 3.
And?
I mean, multiply by 6.
Yeah, then you have to multiply stuff that I don't want.
2 over negative 1.
Yep, or just negative 2 is fine. So negative 2 times negative 1/2 gives us 1 x. Negative 2 times y gives us
Negative 2
Negative
y
y.
equals negative 6.
Nice. And b, 4y equals 2x minus 3.
Subtract.
2x plus 4y
Okay.
equals negative 3.
That was rude.
So what do we have?
Negative 2x plus 4 equals negative 3.
Equals z squared.
Get out of here,
minus
Cole.
5.
Okay, we good?
Yes.
We are great.